I have contact with Marva Stimson. He was killed. Part of the
So they were never prosecuted or held accountable?
No.
We are Ghost Paranormal, a team of paranormal investigators from different walks of life. We have our own lives and our own families. We all have had our own personal experiences with the paranormal. We come together to find out what makes the doors open and close on their own. We come together to find out what makes the hair stand up in the back of your neck. We come together for one specific purpose: to hunt the unknown truth.
All right, this is Rachel Ruland, Hunting the Unknown Truth. As you can see behind me, because of the great light work we have here right now, we're in Hales Dam. This building was started building in 1907, finished 1913, survived numerous failures to a point of when TVA took it over in 1939, spent another 20 years trying to fix it as well. If you look at the Sycamore Shoals Treaty, which is what this land was purchased on originally or taken away from originally, Chief Dragon Canoe had said, and I quote, that if any white man had settled on this property, there'd be bloodshed. When you look at all the failures this dam has gone through, all the problems it had that eventually led to its closing at the time in 1959 by the TVA, the curse kind of makes sense. This building has been famous for disembodied voices, apparitions. Nobody works in here anymore. The place is almost abandoned and alone. Or is it? Ghost Paranormal's here tonight to try to find some more answers for the people that are running tours and own this building. This place holds a lot of history, some of it dark. So hopefully tonight we're going to be able to get the answers that we would like to have, they would like to have, and that you deserve. So hang with us. Thanks. All right, we moved up a little bit further into this. We're on our way up to the locker room area, one of the more active places in this part of the place where the powerhouses was. I want to take a second just to introduce who I'm with currently. All the way to my left is Carrie. One of our investigators here is Shalissa in the middle of that, as well another investigator. And then we have Cassie with us. I'm a little outnumbered with estrogen, as you can tell. We're going to go ahead and make this happen. Sometimes, believe it or not, they like to work with ladies here more than they do with guys. I got some tremendous bait over here, I think. But we're going to have a good time with it, and we're going to move up to the area here. In this particular spot, the last time we were here, and forgive the language, but I'm just going verbatim, I had a male entity say, I'm going to fuck with you. Pretty disturbing type of voice, too. And it was just, I had made a mention, this is back in the days when I thought, provoking was cool. Whoa, I was wrong. So I was just saying, so what are you messing with us and you're not messing with the guys down there? Because they weren't messing with the guys down there. And as I come down from this section back here and make my way to this point, is on our real-time EVPs, which is what we always roll with now, I got a male voice that just said, I'm going to fuck with you. So I felt pretty threatened by it, but we're going back up to a place where it all started up here in the locker room area, so stick with us. Let's make a roll with it, ladies. All right, so we made it up into the locker room area. This has been an area of some activity as well. You might have seen it on television with another show where somebody was in this area and actually had their shirt tugged on. You can actually see the apparition on thermal camera disappear over here behind Carrie. And I want to do a small EVP session here. But first, who whispered?
Prayer.
Yeah. But first, we always do a prayer protection. We've been so harried trying to get this show going that we didn't. So we're going to do it now. So bear with us a moment. Bow your head with me for a minute, please. God and Father in heaven, we come before you at this time, Father. We thank you for the opportunity we have to be able to talk with the other side, Father. We're thankful for those that are here as well tonight. We're thankful for their blessings, their gifts you give them to be able to help us through this. Father, we ask you to bless each and every family that's represented here tonight as well. Father, we ask you to be with us as we go into this investigation. To talk with the other side, Father, we ask at this time we remain in your light. We ask that whatever is here stays here and does not go home with us. We ask this in Jesus' name. Amen. Amen. I feel better. So we're going to do a EVP session now. We have a couple of toys. Ghost Meter Pro being one of them. Anybody who's ever seen our shows knows this. There's a lot of contamination outside as well. There's evidently people out there having a bonfire, which sometimes I wonder if I want to be out there joining them roasting marshmallows or doing this. I'm not sure. S'mores sound good. Okay, is there somebody in here with us? Make yourself known in some way, please. Give us a sign of your presence in some way. Are you reading anything in a millimeter?
I've constantly done it. It's jumping anywhere from a 1 to a 8.
A 0.1 to a 0.8?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Oh, my stomach. Anybody else's stomach acting weird?
What's a normal reading on a millimeter?
Well, a normal reading on a millimeter, you know, usually in a house, you probably would be looking at 0.1, 0.2 on average, you know, 0.8 is a pretty high spike. 0.8 is basically the leaching about of a small microwave refrigerator that would give off about an 8. A fan would give up to about a 20. But an 0.8 is pretty significant for a place that has no power in it. It's a place that has no power being driven to it, so there'd be no reason really why there would be an EMF spike in here of a 0.8. It just doesn't make any sense.
I think that's a fish in the water.
That was
That
a
was a
fish.
really big fish, though.
Unless it was a buzzing fish.
Was it an insect?
I just heard the water splashing.
Okay.
And there is that really big fish, and there's a lot of bugs, and fish like to jump and get food.
What's funny is I've been up here, I don't know, we've been to this place 12 times in 2.5 years. I've never really had a lot up here. One time up here, I remember getting scratched.
Contact.
Ah, there we go, contact. All right, let's see if we can get done with this. Are you the person that comes and goes up in here and touches people? Was that you? Once for yes and twice for no, please. Jeez, criminal. Okay, that sounded pretty apparent. Will you have the ability to touch one of us now? Will you do that? You can touch one of us, but you can't hurt us. You don't have that right. Okay. Well, why don't you just go ahead and see if I can get myself prepared here for you. Touch my arm. Can you do that? No? No, I'm sorry. I forgot to ask the right way. Will you do that? Okay. Well, I'm going to give you that chance to do it. You can touch my arm, you can touch her arm, her arm, her arm. Just reach out and touch one of us. Wow. Okay.
You keep saying yes, so are you going to do it?
Right? The thing about this device is the louder the answer, usually that means the more definitive the answer is. Do we intimidate you by having so many in this room? Is that what the story is? What the crap was that?
That's somebody by the bonfire plus a train.
And a dog.
That didn't sound like it was outside to me, but okay.
But the way that sound carries here,
Yeah, it kind of just echoes into
Because I can hear a dog right now.
So up here, does females have more interaction than males?
Well, it's the theory has been since women are emotional creatures, they operate the emotional side. They're easier to shock, easier to intimidate.
And it all depends on the entity.
It depends on what?
On the entity. If it's a
Yeah.
female entity that likes males, she might be more prone to talk to men.
Now I say that here because this particular facility has had more of a history of being interactive with females. Most of the population of the entities is building, from what I've been described to by Mark and by other people, it's male. So it kind of makes sense that they would mess around with the females a lot. I know the tunnel areas where you get most of the females get the interaction happening with them too. But on the second floor, the control room we're going to move to after this happens as well. That train's awful loud.
Really loud.
Especially when you're listening to everything real time.
Yeah, exactly.
It's really
The
loud.
sound is amplified.
So I think we need to move to the control room. I haven't really gotten.
No,
I really haven't gotten much of it.
Jeremy, the gentleman that works here, said earlier on their tour that a lady was scratched down in the tunnels.
Oh yeah.
That she had 2 huge, long claw marks on her.
Nice.
Oh, she was outside.
I hope to not be that victim tonight.
Well,
Seeing it's my first time here.
but yeah. First time for 1, 2, 3 of you.
Yeah.
It's great.
I don't like this kind of souvenirs.
No. But I think we're gonna move out of this because I'm barely even picking anything up out of this.
She's not getting anything. She's
No.
at 0.2.
And from what I remember, the interaction here was pretty intermittent anyway. It was like hit or miss, maybe you would, maybe you wouldn't.
Okay.
Now that railing right there, that railing right there in front of Jim, there's a gentleman I've actually caught standing there on thermal camera. And he just kind of stands there like he's holding onto the rail and staring at you. And then he moves. But I was able to stand there on that railing one time, and within 3-foot space, the energy is completely different than right next to it or on this side of it. It's a very cold, very negative feeling, and then you move to the right or left, and it's absolutely normal. It's really odd. But I think that's what we're going to do. I think we're going to move to the control room, start up on the second floor. Try to do that. Move that direction and try to see if we can get some more interaction. Maybe a little shelter some of the noise as well. Because that's twice I've heard the train now in like an hour. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's move to that. All right, we kind of moved up a little bit. We're in a control room area now on the second floor, what I lovingly used to call the overlook because it overlooks the powerhouse. We've set up a couple of pieces of equipment right now. We've got the periscope here on this desk, a box looking thing. We've also got a new product we had that we're trying out tonight called the knee probe from Colorado Paratech. It works very similar to a REM pod antenna, and it makes contact with it, it'll go off. We're giving that a shot tonight as well, so let's just do an EVP session here and see what we get. We got contact, right? Well, it didn't take long, did it? Are you the one we've talked to up here before? 13S? Are you the man that's told me often amount of times that there's no power in Christ in your world? No? Are you the guy that scratched me across the water? Okay. Did you feel that would intimidate me? Think that was loud enough? Well, you know what? It really didn't. I'm back. All I want to do is talk to you. Yeah. All I want to do is talk to you. We just want to have an interaction with you. Just kind of a check-in, I guess, since the last time we were here. We've got a couple of products on the table that you can actually interact with. You think you'd want to do that? You think you'd want to do that? Anybody else hear that?
Yeah, I think it was a water drop.
Okay.
It sounded like to me, it sounded like water.
This device on the stand over here, if you come near it, it'll light up different colors. The other one will actually announce that you're there with a sound.
This
there
last
anything-
one is a new piece.
Yeah, the E-probe. Keep on feeling this burning sensation in my arm, but there's nothing there.
What is my phone?
Can you come and talk to us? Can someone come and talk to us for a moment, please? Did you hear that locker just close?
Yes, I did.
Yes, I did.
It was
Are you
definitely
freaking
locked.
kidding me?
Of course, as soon as we leave that area.
That was a locker slam. That was like in old high school days. Seriously? Do that again. I know you can hear me. My God, people in Jersey can hear me. Do it again. Please. You'll do it the minute I turn my back. Okay, that was weird. You can hear that locker slam all the way over here. It was funny, we were just playing with those like 20 minutes ago.
Yes.
Yeah, I threatened to shove Shaw's in one. She'd fit.
That would be a little creepy.
Yeah, a little bit. Plus, there could have been spiders in there. Yeah, no thanks. Yeah.
Everybody's gonna ask me questions, now's the time.
And we got contact.
Yeah, somebody's here because my solar plexus are killing me.
Do you like it here? Is this the place that you like to come and just watch?
No.
You work here though, right? Did you work here?
Once for yes? Yes. Were you a supervisor here? Okay, that's me on a rails. Okay, so are you guys talked with us before? Are you someone that has talked to us before? Once for yes, twice for no. Yes.
Are
Okay.
you the man that died of a heart attack?
Yep. Go on. Sorry. Yes. I just heard a noise behind you, sorry.
Were women allowed up here?
You know, honestly, I don't know. Probably back when TVA owned it, they were, because things were a little different back then. I'm not too sure about it when it was privately owned as the hydroelectric dam, because they're talking about 1913 through 1930 38? It's probably not.
Because what I've noticed
No, not mine.
is activity happens when you separate yourself from the girls. Not girls, women, sorry. From the women.
Yeah.
Every time you back away, that's when stuff happens.
Yeah.
When you back away a lot from them, that's when that lock is shut.
Yeah, that makes sense. What's funny about the locker, though, whatever entity is up there, he plays with those locker doors every time we come. I mean, that sound is just so familiar here. Awesome.
Were women allowed up here when you worked here?
Once for yes, twice for no, please. I just heard male say yeah, and the answer yes. I just heard another yeah.
Did you work with them?
No.
I said no.
I heard that. Oh,
said
you said that.
Oh, you said that? I was going to say, I heard that pretty loud.
women didn't work here.
So do you like it when women are up here? Wow. I did that too fast.
Do you like getting visitors up here? Yeah. Somebody's breathing
Yeah,
deeply.
I can't breathe through my nose.
There's a lady. Really? There's a lady directly in front of me who was here once. Are you the guy that touched her arm? That's a yes. How many times did you do it? Once? Or more than once? Did you do it once? No, then you're not the same guy because you did it more than once. He backs off. Yeah, the thing is they love coming at you and getting your attention and drawing your energy away, and because I'm getting hit right in the gut. They love drawing your energy out of you. Then when they get called on some stuff, they back off. But this is actually the calmest I've ever seen this area up here.
Yeah, I feel nothing.
Yeah. The last time I was up here, I was so concerned. You right over there?
Something's been putting a shadow across you.
Yep.
About me?
It's almost like I'm turning my light or someone's walking in front of the IR illuminator. But it'll go.
Is it in front of me or behind me?
It's in front of you because it's blocking. It puts a shadow like right
It's
down
in
to
front of
where
you
your
'cause it's fuzzy.
wire
If
is.
you look there, it'll get fuzzy.
That's why I was turning my light on to see if somebody was standing right here.
No.
Is it only when he gets contact?
You see that now?
No,
No. Because it's
'Cause-
not fuzzy. And I actually
because
see
right now the left edge of my illuminator.
There's that locker.
Was that the locker sound?
Yeah.
Kind of sounded like it.
Yes.
And Mark said the thing in the locker is definitely not what's up here.
Okay, good.
It's definitely different.
Somebody just,
That was me.
okay. If somebody was just here with us a minute ago, wasn't standing out here in front of me, can you come back for a moment, please?
Battery drained all the way down, starting again, and now back up, now back up.
So instead of feeding off us, it's feeding off the
It's taking whatever it can get, because this building has, again, no power. I mean, there's nothing here except the whirlpool, the energy the whirlpool generates. So they're nowhere near the whirlpool, they're not getting energy from that. You know, they're just SOL. They'll take whatever they can get. I'm just shocked that we're not getting a ton of interaction here.
This is the first time I've ever seen a reporter not
Not blowing up. It's crazy.
blowing up a color.
It did when we first put it down.
Yeah, but that might have been residual
That
static.
might- yeah.
I don't know, but it's done nothing, and this thing is not a do
Yeah.
nothing. This thing is not a do nothing product.
Contact.
It normally
Breathing, sorry.
shows a lot more.
Is there any way that you can come possibly touch one of these devices, Rick?
Will you please?
Try this again. Yeah, will you please come over here and touch one of these devices real quick, please? No?
It won't hurt you.
Is the lot too bright for you?
The fuck is that?
I don't know, but it hurts.
Might be the train.
Yeah, it's agreeing with it hurts.
It could be the train.
The train.
Do you see these devices in front of us? Do you see these? You see these lights? No. See, because they're not living in this realm. They're living back at the time when they were alive. This thing here isn't even in their way. To them, it's like they don't even see it.
They would only interact with it by accident if they were.
Yeah. Passed right by it or walked through it, you know? They would walk through it. That would make sense.
Basically what you just said, you believe it's residual.
Well, I don't even know if it's really residual so much as, like Marcus said it before, they come through, you know, like you'd be in a bedroom, the bed wasn't always there, and they walk right through the bed because the bed wasn't there during their time.
Right.
Even though they're conscious. But to see that not light
Things
up,
are just the way they used to be.
yeah, but see this not light up in this place, that's craziness.
It's weird.
We haven't been anywhere it hasn't lit up. Is somebody moving a foot across the
I
ground?
did. I moved my feet back.
I mean, that's just, I've never had it not do this before.
We're dead up here, so I was like, pardon not the
Yeah.
fun, but
It's-
there's nothing going on.
That's Richard on the rail.
Yeah, please don't lean on that.
I'm not really leaning, I'm just putting my hand on it.
Richard, can you see the matrix of red lights over
Yes.
to my right?
Yeah,
Would you kind of watch it for a little bit?
okay.
If the fall a minute ago knocked something loose, and what's on your right side is going on and off, that would explain that shadow.
Nothing is going on in
I've
the
never
No,
seen
so
it
it
ever
hasn't been
fluctuate.
going off
Okay.
and on.
Because a shadow just moved away from you.
Of course, great.
And it's blocking over about to where your earbuds are. So it'll come in and block like half of your frame and then move back out to the left as I'm seeing it.
How big of a shadow is this?
It's big enough to block half your body.
Yeah, the bottom part of the belly just.
No, it's taller than that. Yeah.
Did somebody just say, yep?
That was me.
Okay.
Also, when you were testing from my side, there was a shadow.
Now,
Okay.
I've got shadows behind the ladies from the illuminator, which I
Right.
expect. But this is a shadow on the front of you,
Yes.
as if something is between the big illuminator and the right side of your body, closest to the railing.
Awesome.
And it's not shadowing over on Billy Joe's side,
Just on my side.
just on your side.
I feel privileged.
They make you.
I feel privileged, that's great. All right, we've done some work so far tonight in the powerhouse of the building, and on the second floor of the control room. Now we're in the tunnels. This tunnel work was a pretty busy place when it was an active dam, but it has been pretty busy before with paranormal activity now. We have been in this part of the tunnel many times, and many times it's produced some pretty decent audio. Coming back in here a moment ago from the outside, it was hard to be able to tell because we don't have it on camera, but I thought I actually saw a shadow run almost towards this direction from when we come in. So I'm kind of hoping that we'll have something from that direction or something like that as well. This place has never failed us on audio responses or anything, so we're going to give this a shot with an EVP session. We currently have also on the table the E-probe on the table, which is a contact device. If you touch that, it'll sound an alarm, it'll light up the lights. And we always have the periscope sitting on the table as well, next to the items that people have set up here for the entity to play with, or entities to play with, that are down here as well. So we're going to just do a brief EVP session now and try to see if we can get something going. Can someone come forward and talk to us, please?
It's doing something.
What?
I think it's search mode.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Oh, this is pounding now.
Is it?
Can you just come forward and talk to us? We have a device here, we have a device in my arm. That will allow us to be able to hear you speak. You can interact with this one with yes or no's. Again, if you go over there and touch any one of those two devices, it'll sound off letting us know you're here. What was that?
I didn't do that.
That was loud. That was behind you guys.
Yeah.
It was from down
That was loud. That was like a one-word
there. No
exhale.
lights, so it couldn't have been anybody else. It would have had lights on.
You have contact?
Okay, that was loud though.
Was that we just heard down the hall? Down the tunnel?
Once for yes, twice for no. Ooh. Okay. Can you make that sound again? That was a once. Okay, go ahead. We'll wait for you. Make another sound like that.
What is that?
What was that?
I was back behind them.
Ooh.
So is that you?
Yep. What was that? We can barely hear you. If you're making that sound, can you make it louder?
Did not that the other noise.
Maybe we should specify what we want louder.
They have a noise not on here. Yeah, not on this, but what you made outside of this. Matter of fact, yeah. Come and talk to us. Somebody exhaling?
Me.
Okay. If you've been making those sounds, let's hear you make something else and some other noise.
Like come tap on this chair right in front of us.
Are you hearing that?
Yeah.
Sounds like conversation
But I don't know where it's coming from.
behind them.
Could that be them upstairs?
No, you couldn't hear that down here. And they're in the control room. They're a ways away from us.
There's a little red light on the table over there. Can you go over and you read it?
Whoa. That was real breathy. Did somebody just say something breathy just now? In a whisper?
No.
No.
Check it, I just heard that. If you're saying something we're barely able to hear you, can you say it louder? Can you project your voice louder?
Breathing.
Can you go over to that device and the blue lights, can you walk past that? Can you touch that device? And make that device light up, please. What was that?
There's a dog barking outside.
Okay.
Is it dog? Okay.
Yeah, dog barking. Can you go over there and touch that device and the blue lights, please? Or the one with the red, with a little piece of metal sticking up, can you do that? That's somebody outside.
Yeah.
Somebody's stomach?
No.
Just to mark the tape, Tommy's got an IR eliminator, he's panning. houses, Richard, like right there. Just so you don't think in later review that that's something that we don't know what it is.
Okay.
The heck was that?
Okay.
That was a ghost part.
That was a ghost fart? Did you literally just say ghost fart?
That's what it sounded like to me, sir.
Yeah,
Well, they do a boom sound when they appear, right, Mark?
sometimes. Especially if they're stinky.
Nice.
Worst spirit.
Nice. Jabroni ghost. Great.
We would really like it if you'd come in here and talk to us. Maybe go near one of the lights. Has me breathing. Gotta love the South. Allergy season's wonderful. I sound like Darth Vader.
That's
Sound
what
like
you
a
sound
sick-
like on these.
I sound like a sick Darth Vader. I don't know.
Not to mention being in a damp subterranean tunnel.
And I'm allergic to mold and mildew, so yay!
So why don't you come forward and talk to us for a moment? Just a brief moment. Come let us know that you're around. Okay.
Yeah, what was that?
Yeah, that was behind us.
Yeah, it was behind you again.
They keep going behind you guys, right?
Yeah, that's happened every time we've been here too.
Wow.
The tunnels are so dense and so deep and they echo so well that it could be happening at the other end of the tunnel and you'd hear it down here.
No, 2.5 guys.
Say again?
2.5 guys.
2.5 guys.
What do you mean by half?
Shalissa.
The other half was lost,
Not to be found.
pinched in half.
Oh, it's him.
I don't know if it's him, but it's somebody who's been
You have
pinched.
contact?
Awesome.
What it is someone who's been pinched, kind of like diagonally across here, so it's the bottom part.
He's here with us?
I'm sorry, that was my head hurts.
Oh, he's agreeing with you.
Yeah, it's a guy, it's one of them who's been pinched, and then the other two are just dead guys.
Just dead guys.
No.
No, not just dead guys.
You're not dead?
Not your run and mill dead guys.
Well, I don't know what their names are, so I have to say they're just dead guys, because I don't know that.
Do you know that the year it is now is 2013? Did you know that?
I heard someone say no.
Did you work here? No.
Did you live on the land?
Okay.
That had to have been the guys.
It had to be one of the guys. There has to be one of the guys doing that.
Oh, I saw a red light down there.
You saw a light?
A red light.
A red light?
There
That's
was one
Kenny.
down there either earlier, like down the other side of the tunnel.
Yeah, that's Kenny down there with the red light.
Well, I don't see it now.
It would be over to the left of where they're standing. It's gone now.
Oh, yeah.
Did I just hear someone say, you little bastard?
I heard something, but I didn't pick up on what it was.
It's me time.
Oh, I was about to crack my pants.
Oh, okay.
He's shining a light in front of the
No, I just turned this on. That wasn't me before.
He goes, I was about to crap my pants.
Hey,
Where's the
Tommy,
laser light?
Yeah.
how's that bladder incontinence problem you were having?
No problem.
Where's the laser light? We haven't even tried it out.
It's
There's no
in
batteries.
the shed thing. Yeah, there's batteries, I just gotta put them in it.
You just shake it out of your drawers while you're
Is that what you just used? Laser light?
He's got a little pen light that he uses.
So was that what was down the hallway just a little bit ago?
No, sir.
Okay. Because
I turned it on to see.
it wasn't as bright as that when I saw it, and then it went away
I
when
didn't
you
know that
started
would be
going down.
a good tool for this tunnel.
Yeah, I know.
Is that locked?
Yeah, everything's locked. You go all the way through back into the tunnel again.
That was my stomach. Auto tagging, gotta do it. Okay, what was that?
Okay, what was that?
It's deeper down this way. It sounds like a girl.
Okay. Well, don't go too far.
Talking.
Again, I'm just completely amazed at the lock right there.
I still think the laser would be a good idea. I just don't feel like going to get it.
I don't feel like going to get it either.
I'm lazy.
What was that?
That was him.
Oh,
Are you
okay.
okay?
Yeah, my stomach is.
Yeah, are you still getting that pain you were having?
No, I'm having stomach pains.
Oh.
Might be the baconator.
Is somebody whispering?
Yes.
Yeah, I said me too. You have contact, by the way.
Do you like bacon?
What?
It's a valid question.
That's a good question. What's your favorite, apple or?
Oh, I
Yes,
said yes.
I like bacon.
That's
Did you
great.
know at Sonic they have this peanut butter and bacon milkshake?
That's disgusting.
And that's a problem, why?
It said yes.
It said yes.
Just put bacon on it and it's worth it.
Anything with bacon, right? Anything with bacon is good?
Is Tommy okay
That's a
down there?
lie.
Yeah, there's just all kinds of stuff in here. So.
Yeah.
Are you amazed of what the world has become today?
What, trashy?
No. Do you disagree with a lot of the things that have happened? Oh, okay. Go
That's something hitting something.
that way.
You make that noise again?
That was a lot of rock.
Yeah. That was creepy.
Now, when we were at the water with the whirlpool, and we did the chanting, it caused his thumb to go crazy. Let's try it and see what happens here.
That water hit my leg.
It's,
Is that what you do? Make that noise?
Hey, Mark,
That way.
if you will start it lower and slowly bring your frequency up, you'll hit the resonant frequency of this tunnel.
Okay.
And it will echo like a mole.
Okay, well, let's look.
Holy sh!
What's the matter? What?
When you did that, there's dust down there. I mean, whatever that is, it formed a shape.
Really?
Yes.
All right, well, let's go for it.
Holy sh!
What's the matter? What?
When you did that, there's dust down there. I mean, whatever that is, it formed a shape.
Really?
Yes.
All right, well, let's go for it.
Okay. Let's go back to it.
Now it's starting to pull back. sense.
I see it.
That's the guys.
That's the guys. Debunked. So you caught that pretty clearly, Tommy?
Yeah, and what's funny is, like right now, there's hardly anything
Yeah,
pouring
you
out.
can tell it's more dense now.
When he starts chanting, man, it just gets really, 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 really heavy.
Wow.
So if you, yeah.
That's crazy. Whoa, whoa, whoa. I just heard that.
What was it?
That was a whispering male voice. I just heard it in my left-hand corner.
It keeps coming from down there.
Keep looking around.
Especially after he chants. We can't. That's why we need to do that again, because it brings up the activity.
Okay, well, let's go. Let's do it.
I'm going to try and get
Hey, did anybody hear something move down this hall?
It'll take them
Could be a rat.
Not a problem.
you can do the hunting house, a day, a training also, and that'll help overlay it, which makes it more of a circular
Roger that.
noise, okay? So I'm going to try to get a little deeper.
Yep, I see it. And that shadow is just going everywhere.
Yeah, it's amazing. Why would you see that?
Yeah, won't you come do it and watch it?
Do it, watch it. I can't have it. I'm sorry. I'm just like, I can't do it. If you look at that little screen, can I do it? I can't. I quit 2 years ago and I still can't.
There it is. Yeah. It's right back in the screen again. It's freaking crazy. He's right there to the right-hand side of the middle. That's nuts. Do you see that, Billy? Who said wow?
I said, wow, I did.
Okay.
That's crazy.
You even see the shadow. He's just bouncing back and forth back there.
Did you see it, Mark?
That's incredible. Did you see that, Mark?
They're attracted to energy. That's government energy too.
Yeah.
Whoa. Did anybody just catch that audio?
No.
I didn't.
I can't, I'm scientifically bored whenever it's filmed.
Mm-hmm.
But dude, I can't explain that.
Well, let's try it
really
again.
are.
Let me go there.
Are you liking the chanting? It's once
Oh, I didn't even see we had
yes
contact.
and twice for no. Are you enjoying it?
Let me try.
Do you see it? Am I looking at down here on the left-hand side of the doorway? Point it down where I see it?
Yeah, that way we can catch it on here.
Right there. There's something that keeps him sticking his head out on the other side of that wall at the end all the time. Flesh tone is pretty dense.
challenge Mark to a snorkeling contest.
Mark, you have pipes, do you?
Yeah, you do. Oh, my, what I'm doing. Whoa, did you hear that?
What was
Oh, I
that?
think everybody heard that. Did you see that wobbling like light source too?
Yeah.
Well, you probably saw something
Yeah, I
like
hear
a
them
light
walking.
source. I saw the
Listen.
light source.
Listen. Okay. The three boys, yeah.
Where is everybody else?
They're back at the building.
Everybody's here, except the two guys. And they're on the way back to the lot.
What's the matter? What's the matter, man?
There's asbestos.
I could have sworn I saw somebody standing right there.
Well, the people there are not interested in that story. They're interested in.
Yeah.
So is this fog? Is that what this is?
It's a combination of the dust off the walls and just it blends in with the air and the air doesn't move. You got this up here. The moisture traps and blocks it down here, and the moisture traps and blocks it here, but the walls are still, not even the walls are moist.
This is
Yeah, this is crazy. This to me is a different kind of crazy than the last time I was here because we didn't have Mark. But the activity that I was watching on your camera in full spectrum was nuts.
Hey, Rich.
Yes.
Mark wants you. You went.
You think you see the beam?
Watch you step up.
Yeah, watch that little.
Yeah.
That's how
Okay, what's stinging? What's up?
damp that air is back
Where's our laser, Greg? Because that would be perfect.
Where's the what?
Our laser. It's back.
In the shed.
Are you catching any of the anomalies on the?
Yeah, catching them, the battery's about to fail.
When do they, are you noticing, is it in the lower, is it in the lower or the higher?
What's that?
That you're getting more
Honestly,
activity?
it's your